Hi everyone, welcome back to the SAM Biology classes online. I am Salim. Today we are going to study another very important concept of the phylum Coelentrates, that is polymorphism in Coelentrates. It is also known as the polymorphism in hydrozoans. So we know that the phylum Coelenterata has three important classes: Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa, Anthozoa. In that particularly the class Hydrozoa shows polymorphism. So before going to polymorphism, let us try to understand some of the important types of coelentrates that are showing the different types of morphological form. The first one is monomorphism. As the name indicates, mono means only one. So these individuals or these hydrozoans have only one zooid or only one individual form. For example, Hydra. Hydra has only polyp stage. So therefore only one stage is present, therefore it is called monomorphism. Example, Hydra. Second one, dimorphism. Dimorphism, as the name suggests, di means two. Only two zooids or two individual forms are present in this category, and they are polyp and medusa. So polyp, it is also called gastrozoid. Medusa form, it is also called nectophorus. Hence the dimorphism shows only two zooids, polyp and medusa. Example for dimorphism is tubularia. So tubularia, it is a hydrozoan and it is example for dimorphism. Then third one, trimorphism. Trimorphism, as the name suggests, tri means three. So these hydrozoans have three forms or three morphological forms or three zooids. They are polyp, medusa and blastostyle. As you can see that 1, 2, 3. There are three zooids, hence it is example for trimorphism, and the best well-known example is Obelia. So in the previous lecture you can see this structure of Obelia. I have explained in detail. If you have not watched that video, just go back and see the video. So in detail I have explained about the structure of, or you can say the morphology of Obelia, where I told you in detail about these three zooids with diagrams. So then coming to the fourth one, that is polymorphism. So as the name suggests, poly means many. So many zooids are present. So here I have mentioned that so polymorphism, particularly the best example for this is the Siphonophora. Siphonophora, it is a hydrozoan and it is the only animal in the entire animal kingdom shows the highest degree of polymorphism. It is the only animal. You have to remember, very important for your knowledge purpose. So it is the only animal which shows the highest polymorphism, high degree of polymorphism. So you can see that so there are three polyps and four medusae forms are there. The three polyps are gastrozoid, dactylozoid and gonozoid. I repeat, these are the three polyps: gastrozoid, dactylozoid and gonozoid. And four medusae are pneumatophores, phyllozoids, nyctophores, gonophores. Okay, so nyctophores, as I told you here, nyctophore, it is a medusa, modified medusa. So same way here, gastrozoid I have mentioned here, it is a modified polyp also. So you have to remember, the Siphonophora shows totally 7 zooids, 3 polyps and 4 medusae. Now coming to the definition of polymorphism. So polymorphism, it is a phenomenon of occurrence of many type of individuals. So many type of zooids in a single species. Okay, a single species or only one species has different types of morphological forms, or they are also called zooid, and during its life cycle. In Kannada I can say that ಒಂದು ಜೀವಿಯ ಜೀವಿತಾವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರುವಂತಹ ವಿವಿಧ ರೀತಿಯ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಝಾಯ್ಡ್ಗಳಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತೀವಿ, ಪಾಲಿಮಾರ್ಫಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ರೀತಿಯಂಥ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ದಟ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಮಾರ್ಫಿಸಮ್. During the life cycle of a single species, many types of individuals or zooids are present. This phenomenon is called polymorphism. Now, particularly we are going to study polymorphism in Siphonophora in detail. So, we are going to study all these 7 type of zooids in detail. Now, dear students, as I told you, the Siphonophora has 3 polypoid zooids and 4 medusoid zooids. First, let us study the different modifications of polyps. As I told you, in Siphonophora there are 3 important types of zooids are present. Number 1, so gastrozoid. So you can see that gastrozoid. So this is the structure of gastrozoid. Second one, dactylozoid. And third one is gonozoid. Okay, so gastrozoid, dactylozoid and gonozoid, these are the 3 important modifications of polyps. See, first one, gastrozoid. So remember, gastrozoid, it is a feeding zooid and it contains a mouth, as you can see in the diagram. So as you can see in the diagram, it contains a mouth and tentacles are also present. Okay, it contains mouth as well as many tentacles. As you can see in the diagram, many tentacles are present. And the important function of this zooid is it helps in a digestion of liquid food. So it helps in a digestion of liquid food. The second polypoid zooid is dactylozoid. See, dactylozoid, as you can see that it has no mouth. Mouth is absent. Only a long tentacle is present and therefore it helps in defense mechanism. Or you can say that the dactylozoids, they are used for defense and they have only a tentacle and mouth is absent. But in case of gastrozoid, mouth and tentacle both are present. But in dactylozoid, only tentacle is present. Then third one is gonozoid. See, remember, gono means refer to gonads. Gonads nothing but a reproductive zooid. Okay, so gonozoid, remember, it is a reproductive zooid and it produces the male and female medusae called gonophores. Gonophores are the modified medusae and these modified medusae are produced by gonozoid. So simply you can remember, gastrozoid, it is a feeding zooid. Dactylozoid, it is used for defense, and gonozoid, it is a reproductive zooid. It produces the male and female medusae. Particularly gonophores are produced by gonozoids. Okay, so once again, briefly glance the polymorphism in Siphonophora. So Siphonophora has 3 polypoid zooids and 4 medusoid zooids. So first we are going to study the modifications of polyps, okay, or polypoid zooids. So there are 3 modifications: gastrozoids, dactylozoids, gonozoids. So gastrozoid, as I told you, it is a feeding zooid and it helps in the digestion of food, particularly liquid food, and it contains a mouth and many tentacles are present. Dactylozoids are used for defense. Okay, they are used for they protect the colony from the enemies, and it has a long tentacle and there is no mouth. It means mouth is absent. Gonozoid, it is a reproductive zooid and it produces the male and female medusae called gonophores. Now let us study the 4 types of medusoid zooids. Dear students, the modifications of the medusoid are, you can see that, phylozoid or bruct. Then second one is nyctocalyx. Third one is nematophores. There is a one more called gonophore. So gonophore was not shown in this diagram. So just you remember, there are 4 medusoid zooids: phylozoid, nematophore, Nyctocalyx, and it is, and one more is gonophore. So let us study the first one. The first modification of medusa is Nyctocalyx. Nyctocalyx, it is also called nyctophores, and you can see that it is bell shaped. Okay, it is bell shaped and there is no mouth and tentacles. Mouth and tentacles are absent. It is bell shaped, and the important function of this Nyctocalyx is it helps in locomotion. It helps in locomotion. Then second one, that is pneumatophore. It is also called float, and this float, remember, it is filled with a mixture of gases. So pneumatophore, as the name suggests, so it helps in flotation. So it helps in flotation of the colony on the water surface. ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ತೇಲಲು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. ನಿಕ್ಟೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಲೋಕೋಮೋಷನ್, ಚಲನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. Okay. Then third one is phyllozoid. So phyllozoid, you can see that it is a leaf-like structure. Always remember, phyllos means leaf. It is a Greek word. Phyllos meaning, logically you have to remember, it is a leaf-like structure, and the function of this phyllozoid is it helps in protection. Okay. And the one more which is not shown in this diagram, that is gonophore. So gonophore, remember, they contain, as I told you, gonophore, they contain the gonads, and their important function is they produce the male and female germ cells for reproduction. Okay, male and female reproductive cells ಅನ್ನು produce ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ gonophore. So once again, let us revise the modifications of medusa. The first one is nyctophores. It is also called nyctocalyces. See, nyctocalyx means singular. Nyctocalyces means plural. It is bell shaped and the mouth and tentacles are entirely absent, and the function of nyctophores is it helps in locomotion. Pneumatophores, as I told you, it is filled with different types of gases or mixture of gases, and the important function it helps in flotation of the colony on the surface of water. So ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ತೇಲಲು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಚಲನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Phyllozoid, it is leaf-like and it helps in protection of the colony. ಇದು ರಕ್ಷಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Gonophores, they contain the gonad, as I told you. Gono means nothing but gonads. They contain gonads means the male and female reproductive organs are called gonads, and they are dioecious. Dioecious means sexes are separate. The male and female reproductive organs are present in separate sexes. Okay, and the important function of gonophores is they produce the germ cells. Germ cells, nothing but reproductive cells. As you know that the reproductive cells are sperms and eggs. So the sperms and eggs are produced by the gonophores, and these germ cells or reproductive cells are helps in reproduction. So this is all about the polymorphism in coelentrates or hydrozoans. It is a very important question, and you have to remember for your knowledge as well as the examination purpose. If you understood the video, like the video, subscribe the channel, click on the bell icon all to get all the latest notifications of our channel. Thank you very much.